Good morning, everyone. This is Father Nate, missionary priest in Italy, and thanks for joining us today, January 12th, on No Greater Delight, our podcast on Marian feasts and Marian meditations. Well, today, once again, we have a great number of feasts to celebrate. First up, we have in Santa Fe, New Mexico, they celebrate Nuestra Señora la Conquistadora, who's also known as Nuestra Señora del Amor Conquistador, and also as La Conquistadora. So it's Our Lady the Conquistadora. The conquistadors were those who conquered Mexico and Latin America. So it's Our Lady of conquering love, and sometimes she's just known as the Conqueress. We go to Guanajuato, Mexico, to the city of León, where they celebrate La Virgen de Guadalupe. Again, you might be thinking, hey, why is it January 12th? Shouldn't it be December 12th? Well, this sanctuary of Our Lady of Guadalupe in León was begun in 1839 and finally completed July 8th, 1875. Ever since then, on January 12th, 1 month to the day after the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, the sanctuary celebrates the festival of the Inditos, the little Indians. So what happens is that children get together, dressed in the style of Juan Diego or Our Lady of Guadalupe, and they get together and gather and celebrate. It's a good way, they say, to maintain their traditions and to help the children realize the importance of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Speaking of interesting things, today they recall the consecration of the cathedral. This took place in 1964, of Notre Dame, Mère du Bon Pasteur, Our Lady, Mother of our Good Shepherd, in Djibouti. Likewise, they celebrate Our Lady of the Broad Street in Rome. That comes from the Abbey Orsini, which is, as a further source says, situated at the very spot where St. Paul remained for 2 years, wearing an iron chain, where he preached the gospel and wrote several of his epistles. And last but not least, we celebrate Madonna delle Scuole Pie in Frascati, which is just outside of Rome. So today we recall the solemn coronation of this image of Our Lady. So what is the Our Lady of the Scuole Pie, right? Well, it's an image that belongs to the founder of the order of the Scuole Pie. In Italian they call them the Scolpi. But this is San Joseph Calasanzio, right? So he always carried this image with him. And he says that he constantly felt Mary's heavenly protection and her maternal assistance. So today, that image is venerated in a new shrine in Frascati, just outside of Rome, in the Institute of the Calasanzian Schools. So that's what we celebrate today, January 12th. For today's reading from the Imitation of Mary by Alexander de Rouville, we continue with part 1, book 1 that is, of Mary's life up to the birth of Jesus. And today we'll consider chapter 25, entitled Visits. Mary's example in the visit she paid her cousin Elizabeth should guide my conduct in social relationships. This humble virgin was the mother of God, and yet she did not wait for Elizabeth to visit her. Her conduct is a condemnation of the distorted sensitivity of many people, who are jealous of their status and fight tooth and nail for the precedence they think they deserve. But what was Mary's reason for visiting her cousin? Piety and nothing else. Yet curiosity, vanity, and self-love are the motives for most of the visits men pay each other in our world. Such was not the visit paid by the faithful Virgin. Her reasons were entirely holy. Virtuous people act under the influence of virtue, even in the visits they pay, dictated though they may seem by simple good manners. Piety, love, and the glory of God guided Mary's steps. She entered a home where he was loved and served. She came to congratulate her relative on the graces which God had given her, and of which the angel had informed Mary. She came on a visit in order to be of help and to strengthen the bonds of holy friendship. Piety does not stand in the way of fulfilling the duties of social life. It does, however, sanctify the latter by steeping them in Christian spirit. The Christian tries to draw profit from every moment. Therefore, he also tries, as far as possible, to break off useless relationships and visits that have only pleasure as their motive. Devout people like to pay visits that serve for the mutual edification and have no use for any others. Virtue likes to find itself in touch with virtue. All other visits prove wearisome, for devout people suffer when outside when outside the atmosphere that sustains them. The saints press even the most unlikely actions into the service of God's glory, the neighbor's edification, and their own perfection. If we were to imitate them and were inspired by the same spirit in the visits we pay each other, how profitable we would find these social relations which form part of our duties as members of society. We would enjoy countless innocent pleasures unknown to men of the world. We would inspire each other to virtue. We would end our visits not with the empty feeling left by the tedious visits men of the world pay each other, but with the holy joy which is the heritage of upright men. Christian souls, keep constantly before you the model I have offered you. Like Mary, leave your solitude only infrequently, and deal only with virtuous men. Like Mary, seek only to glorify God and edify your neighbor. Then you will profit by the relations you must maintain with men.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed our Marian podcast. As St. John Paul II teaches us, from Mary we learn to love Christ, her Son, the Son of God. Through her intercession, may we grow ever closer to Him. We encourage you to share this with a loved one or friend and help spread our devotion to Mary. Thank you, and God bless.